Hey, we back here live on YouTube with the Jay Skyline and James on the Unfiltered. And if it was up to me, I'd be playing the sad music with the little violin in the background. So I'm going to plead my soul for a little bit before we get into the main coverage. The Los Angeles Rams and their star best player on the goddamn team, Aaron Donald, are having problems. And I have one thing to say to my Los Angeles Rams and the local bred Penn Hills own Aaron Donald. Los Angeles Rams, I don't care if you got to put out a second mortgage on your house. I don't care if you got to ask to borrow more money from 3 banks. This man deserves to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. If not the second highest paid, it's either him or Khalil Mack. They're the best 2 defensive players in the NFL. That's it. And they're both on the West Coast, and I need at least one of them named Aaron Donald to stay on the West Coast. That's all I have to say about that. And we're going to get back into it. I mean, James, unless you have something to say about that, but you don't have like a personal
no personal. We can pay. Yeah, pay for him.
Like I feel like I'm getting in that deja vu of what happened to Sue with the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
when he left the Detroit Lions and went to Miami, and you see what happened to Sue. Nothing good has happened for Sue down in Miami. I'm not saying anything good has happened to Detroit either, but I'm saying that like stay in a warm place and suck before you go to a cold place and suck. I don't know. That's all I can say. Over to some other news. LaMelo Ball now has his new signature shoes, the LaMelo Ones, and they are being sold online for $395. There is an issue with that. He is a freshman on the UCLA basketball team. That means you can't be sponsored and you can't make money, which a lot of us don't agree with the NCAA's rules. But as long as there is a rule, he can't be doing this.
So maybe his dad's not going to make him give him any money? You know, what if it's like entrusted into?
It's still his name. That's like the reason everybody got sued for NCAA. I mean, but the football game, that was literally the reason everybody got sued. Not because of the other stuff. It was because people's names and likenesses was in it. Yeah. If anybody remembers, NCAA was the football game that was like the college version of Madden, but they couldn't use names. But instead, they used the numbers, the height, the weight, and the hometowns of all the players. They just didn't put their names on it. But I figured out whenever I noticed Tim Tebow's stats one year that they used Tim Tebow's hometown and the number of his jersey for Florida. So it's like, yeah, you did everything but say his name, which I tell you, Destiny's Child used to tell people to say their name. So like I'm a weirdo. I was like 15 when I got this correlation and figured all this out. It's been 10 years now, and the game's been gone since then. But this is going to be an issue. Unless the only way this will pass is if Ball sponsors the entire team. That's the only way everybody on the team could. That would work.
Yeah. If
his dad sponsored the team's shoes, that would work. That's what they used to do out here with Sonny. With Sonny, the dude that used to do all the basketball, the high school basketball in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's what he used to do. He used to get all the deals from Nike and Adidas for the players when they was like in high school, before they went to college. That's what I think Sonny's half the reason they made all these rules. But no, like I said, this is definitely going to be an interesting. I think he's going to get in trouble. I have the conspiracy theory in me that says that he's going to get in trouble with the NCAA. They're going to say he can't play basketball. So his dad's going to be like, well, you can't say he can't work. And he's going to sue the NBA. And then the NBA is going to be forced to let him play. And then, good old Uncle Magic Johnson come around with that old contract. And it's going to be LaMelo Ball, LeVar Ball, LiAngelo Ball.
Yo, what?
Well, I know I said the dad's name somewhere in there. And that's why I knew I messed up. I knew the dad's name was something. And then he'll be out there with Paul George, and then LeBron comes next year. And we getting my title. And I'm getting my titles back in Lake Town.
I mean, if that happens,
hey, and Paul George is coming next year too. We about to be the juggernaut.
You just throwing everybody.
Well, Paul George wants to go to the Lakers. Like, this is the only one I know for sure wants to go, and everybody with the last name Ball wants to play for the Lakers. LeBron's speculation. Yeah. Because he's technically still on the Cavaliers.
You put throwing in quotes on that.
Yeah, because I don't know if he's with the Cavaliers mentally. He's just there physically. He got 1 year to figure out what he wants to do with his life. He might go play yoga. He might go play baseball after next year.
Okay.
Hey, it happened once.
Once. Okay, maybe he'll switch up and do a whole different sport.
Yeah, he said he wanted to be a tight end for the Browns at one point.
Did he really?
Yeah, he said that once. Hey, man, look that up. It was like a year ago. He definitely said he could play tight end for the Browns.
The last good tight end was what?
Jordan Cameron.
Before that was like Ben Watson. So like, Those were years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just for you to say that. I was like, God damn, you're right. Man Watson did play on that team. Like you said that, my eyes got all big as I'm sitting there like, God damn, that's a reference I ain't have in my pocket. I did not have that reference in my pocket at all.
I'm just trying to remember who was the last good person on that team, tight end. So, okay. LeBron James, the next tight end, all right.
Also, shout out to the Lakers because they out here doing everything to win. They somehow got a tampering charge from the Pacers for talking to Paul George, even though Paul George plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, I just said that. Paul George got traded from the Pacers like 3 months ago to the Thunder. And the Pacers then went snitched to the league because they think that they could never be able to sign Paul George because the Lakers tampered with Paul George. So now the Lakers would have to give up $500,000. It's a weird thing because to me, it's snitching after the snitching is too late. Oh yeah, there's a line for snitching. There's a point where snitching is way too late and it's gone too far. Like at this point, you're just snitching to snitch. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help the Pacers at all to snitch on the Lakers at this point. Y'all just doing it because y'all want to do it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Also, I still blame Magic Johnson for this because he just likes to talk too much. Like, I do know that he did tamper because Magic Johnson was out here telling people that they wanted Paul George out in public. Like, he wasn't the GM at this point. Like, back when he was just the legendary player, you could say whatever you want. You're not paid by the team anymore. When they give you a paycheck and you're part of the organization, you got to shut the fuck up. That's the end of it. Like, you can't be that same fun Magic Johnson. This is how things roll. On updated news, we got Tim Tebow 2.0. Johnny Manziel is out being talked about again. He is finally opening up to a Canadian Football League career. If you don't know Canadian Football League, it's the same thing as our football, except it's longer. They have wider fields and shit. But the Hamilton Tiger Cats are at this point discussing a deal with Johnny Manziel to make him to get them on their roster for this upcoming Canadian Football League season.
He's done. He's been done. I don't know why you still want to talk about him.
Because it was. Oh, that's cold. Because if there was a Tim Tebow story, you'd be the first person to want to talk about.
I wouldn't really want to talk about that. I can care less about him anymore.
You want to talk about your half brother? I didn't know y'all kicked him out the family like that.
Timmy, he hasn't done nothing. What is he? Is he doing? Like, I think he's just doing interviews at this point.
He's still on the minor league baseball system in the Mets.
Well, like second or third tier? Not even like.
I think he's second tier now. They moved him up because he was on the team before that wears their own jerseys. And when you get to a certain level of minor leagues, the minor league team wears the same jerseys as the Mets. So they moved him up to there for they could sell jerseys that say Mets with Tebow on the back.
Okay.
I know that happened about a month ago. I don't know if he was good enough to be moved up, but they moved him up to sell jerseys. I know that for a fact.
I know he's out there playing. I mean, have fun, but Johnny Manziel, but we're talking about him. He hasn't done anything. He never did anything in Cleveland, number one.
Nobody does anything in Cleveland.
But he was supposed to.
Everything you say, I can say about everybody else. Remember Brandon Whedon?
Yes. We can just talk about 24 years.
This year, funniest article ever. There's an article out at the Post-Gazette, I think, talking about Joe Hayden getting signed to the Steelers yesterday. And the thing was, it said he's not going to play in the last preseason game, but he'll get an exposition game before the first game. You know what they were talking about? The Browns game.
Yo.
They was talking about the first game of the season. Like he'll get an exhibition before the real first game.
Oh,
like I read that. I was like, I had to sit back and think about it. I was like, did they just say that the first game was an exhibition? I was like, it's the Browns. That's disrespectful as fuck. So basically, the Post-Gazette just went out and said that the Steelers are playing a 14-game season and they get a bye week the first week and the last week because the Browns is the last game too.
Hey, that's. I'm fine with it. So yeah, it's a first bye.
So remember this, people. Steelers get 3 bye weeks this year.
3 weeks. So you don't need to watch next week coming up. Don't worry about it. You just watch these preseason games. That's all that's really mattered.
So I think some people think this preseason game tonight is going to be taken more seriously than that Browns game.
I think so. I think this one's a fun one. You at least see everyone at least is on there for a quarter. I
will give it to the NFL. This is the weirdest preseason I've ever watched because usually you'd only see like big players in like the third game of the season. Last week, I've seen a lot of like number one players playing in the second week and the first week in not the Hall of Fame game. Nobody plays in the Hall of Fame game. I don't know why anybody goes to the Hall of Fame game.
I mean, they're there. They just ain't playing.
Nobody plays. I don't even think they get dressed. But this year's preseason, I've seen a lot of the starters and like good players playing in the first and second preseason games. So sometimes you don't see them at all. And then the third preseason game is usually the exhibition real game. Unless you're the Steelers, then you get to play the Browns. And let's find out whoever plays the Jets the first week of the season too, because they're in a bye week too. I know. I was just saying. We might as well say the same thing to whoever's playing the Jets. Like the Jets. Whoever plays the Jets in the first week got a bye week. I'm disrespectful with these Jets. They ain't do nothing this offseason but lose people.
Yeah, you just said not holding back.
I know, because it kills me that people out here saying that Colin Kaepernick doesn't deserve a job, and I can say that every quarterback on the Jets roster is worse. And there's a couple other teams, but I know there's not a good quarterback on that team.
Who is the starting Bills?
Huh? Oh yeah, the Bills got a bye week. They need a bye week too because they just lost half their players, but they got a bye week. That's the only two teams.
Who's the starting quarterback for the Jets, though?
To be announced. I don't know. Hackenberg? I think it's Hackenberg, a dude from Penn State.
Okay.
I do think it's him. They also got a McCown on the roster somewhere.
They got McCown. That's all they get to just start him.
Hackenberg? Yeah, it's Hackenberg. See, we got that checked up. Dude's never played a game or never started a game. Well, if he did, he started like 2 last year. Yeah, and you damn right it might change before game time. They just had to put something on the website. Somebody had a deadline. They're like, "Well, we need a depth chart for the website."
If you are on fantasy and he's your quarterback,
you got a problem.
You might not even start.
There should be red flags blinking all over the place if your quarterback has next to it Jets. Unless Tom Brady gets traded to the Jets during the season, you got a problem.
What would happen when something has that happen?
Oh, Tom Brady would have to like fuck Bill Belichick's wife. It would have to be something wild.
No, it wouldn't be enough. No.
If y'all didn't hear Malachi said that, just making part of the family for real.
You say Ted?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but no, like I said.
Oh, what was that? That was for you, the wet nap.
James said you needed it. For anybody who just saw me trying to tell us that over there, did not make it.
Yo.
Hey man, my girls never expect rings. I'll take that. So my girls never expect rings.
Yeah. That's a Browns fan.
No, like I said, this NFL season is gonna be interesting. So like, I mean, you're different than me. I got one team, and then I root for the Steelers because my team always is terrible. You got like 5 squads.
I just want to see them do good. I want Steelers to win.
Well, who's your other teams that you always look forward to win?
All right, so we'll just look at by division. We'll say Miami. I'd like to see them win.
Okay.
But that's not going to happen with Chad. I mean, I like Chad Henne, but he never did anything like 4 years ago. He never did anything with that team. I mean, we got a different like offense.
You said Miami?
Yeah, Chad.
No, Jay Cutler's the quarterback now.
Oh, Jay Cutler, that's right. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that changes the whole landscape on life when you say the words Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. I used to give Jay Cutler some credit, so I'll give him a little bit of slack. I heard that he was doing good in practice, but that was it. I heard he was doing good, but doesn't, if you hurt your thumb, you're just gonna end the season and ruin the Super Bowl for everyone out there.
You're still salty about that Bears NFC Championship game?
How do you do that? How do you do that? Oh, my thumb hurts, guys. I need to sit this one out. I think
you're just mad because that was the lead to the Packers going to the Super Bowl, and then they beat the Steelers, which you knew that if the Bears had won that game, that the Bears weren't going to beat the Steelers. No. Like, I feel like anybody that remembers the year that the Packers beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, we all can understand that Jay Cutler was not about to beat the Steelers with the Bears. Like if they had, like the Bears could have beat the Packers because that's a rivalry game and that's like all up for drafts. Yeah. That Bears team was not going to beat the Steelers. I understand that if you're salty on that, because Jay Cutler definitely just threw a game away and just gave a Super Bowl away.
Yeah, pretty much.
My issue with Jay Cutler, man, is he just don't look like he ever give a fuck, man.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't think I just don't feel like he doesn't really give enough energy. I don't feel like he really gives a shit. I've heard people say some people he does in the locker room, but I just don't see you on the field. Like if you don't show that you really care, why as a fan or whatever.
Jay Cutler is like you ever see Tom Brady off the field and he's like all like real clean, got the commercials with like gloves and stuff. He always looks proper. But when you see Tom Brady on the field, he's cussing and swearing and shit. And he's mad.
Oh yeah.
Jay Cutler's the exact opposite. He's like the most I don't give a fuck about being on the field dude on the field. But then he's out there in Miami with the all-white tuxedo and the cigar walking down the sidewalk with all the bitches. That's Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler gets live when he's off the field. When he's on the field, it's just like,
okay,
I threw an interception. Y'all gonna go grab that dude before he scores a touchdown?
I ain't getting them. That's
No. Jay Cutler ain't chasing nobody after he throws an interception.
Even like a little half, like the half attempt that you like sometimes give.
It's the point. Like, yo, he's coming. He's coming this way. That's Jay Cutler. He's pointing to where the dude's running with the ball.
He had the second lowest QB rating last year.
Yes, Jay. So yeah.
78.1 has lost to 76.8.
Yeah.
09, so he's
So yeah, Jay Cutler.
We're picking up on the D-line.
So yeah, like I said, Jay Cutler. And again, this is the thing. Like everybody, I'm not gonna knock this. Jay Cutler has a big ass arm. He can throw the ball from sideline to sideline up to 100 to 100. He can do that. But he makes no decisions. Like, to me, it's like playing Madden blind. You're just pressing A, B, X all randomly. That's all he does. Like, he has this huge ass arm, but no accuracy and no, like, I feel like he has no football IQ. And I know that's not true because he went to Vanderbilt. Like, and that's the other thing. Everybody gives him this slide because he went to Vanderbilt. If y'all don't know, Vanderbilt's like the Harvard of the South. So, like, yeah, like everybody gives him this big ass pass because he went to Vanderbilt. And I'm like, yeah, Vanderbilt's a terrible football school. It has a lot of smart people there, but it's a terrible football school. It's the second school in Tennessee. Yo, most of y'all don't even know the Vanderbilt's in Tennessee. That's exactly what I mean. You ain't so yeah, and I only know this because I played the college football games. Again, Harvard or the South, not good at football. Just like Wake Forest. Like nobody gives a fuck about Wake Forest in the ACC. What, the Demon Deacons? Nobody worries about the Winston-Salem Wake Forest Demon Deacons. All y'all care about is Duke and North Carolina, and y'all care about NC State whenever they do that cancer walk for Jimmy V every year. But outside of that, y'all don't even care about NC State. Hey, shout out. I mean, that cancer thing is important, but like y'all don't care about NC State. Like I know what y'all care about NC State. Pitt is the second team in Pennsylvania. I love Pitt. Y'all care about Penn State more. Like, don't tell me you go to Toledo and like, oh yeah, Toledo's a team of Ohio. No, it's Ohio State. Stop playing yourself. Yeah, no, like we know what this is. There are some states that have it up for grabs, like Illinois and Northwestern could fight about that because Northwestern's like the Chicago school. But yeah, no, like I said, this is gonna be interesting.
I'll keep on rolling. My other team, Oakland, so Oakland would be over the West Coast. I think they got that division. I
think Oakland's the third team in my. If I had to pick teams that I thought could win the Super Bowl, they're number 3.
I think they could do it. If not, they won't do it this year. They'll do it next year, maybe.
They need to do it before they move to Las Vegas. I need an Oakland. Yeah. I need you know what I need? I need them to win the Super Bowl the year before they move to Vegas. Because I need to know what y'all do with that parade. Are y'all gonna do the parade to Oakland, or y'all gonna do
it's
half?
Gonna be a parade to
Vegas.
Yeah.
Like the long.
It's just gonna be cars and trucks.
No, not cars. It's gonna be 6 Foles, 24-inch rims. Like, yeah, we talking about for belly skirting. Like, we talking all that shit. It's gonna be all up and down. Low riders, cars scraping the fucking ground. Like, we talking about the Loonies is gonna be out. This is what's gonna happen. The Loonies are gonna perform from Oakland to the border of Nevada, and then Dizzy Wright's gonna pick it up at Nevada, and Dizzy Wright's gonna perform all the way out to Las Vegas. Yeah. That's exactly how it's gonna be. But I need that to be the Super Bowl. I need to have that most awkward leave ever. Oakland wins the Super Bowl, then they're going to Vegas.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. That would be cool.
I think the team is good enough that there's a legitimate chance that they actually win the Super Bowl. It's not this year. It's going to be 2 or 3 years before they move to Vegas. I think it's a legitimate chance they win the Super Bowl.
Marshawn's still on the team too.
Marshawn's going to stay on until they leave. I think he'll retire the year they leave.
Okay.
He has no reason to play for Oakland when they move. He went to Oakland because it's his hometown.
That's his hometown. Yeah. Why would you? Unless that was like his team, like you could ride or die with that team. I don't know.
Shockingly, Oakland's the only team where I think the fans will stick.
Yeah. So I mean, like I feel like if that's Marshawn's team, but I mean, then again, like you have some weird feelings because you're like, I'm a Seahawks player too. Like, well, he was a Bills originally, but that's a whole different. Now you're getting in a whole different.
Oh yeah, no, I think the same way about San Diego. I think San Diego lost all their fans moving to LA, and that's a 2-hour drive. Yeah. It's just a 2-hour drive, and I only think like 5 people will go from San Diego to LA to watch a San Diego game. While the Rams already had fans in LA, so it was different for the Rams. But there was no reason for San Diego to leave. Who's the other teams where I've seen stuff like this happen? More recently, the Seattle OKC and NBA. That was a big one where they moved from from the NBA to the they moved from Seattle to OKC. Nobody in Seattle rocks with OKC no more. There might be one dude in Seattle with a Kevin Durant Seattle Supersonics jersey and a Ray Allen jersey. Actually, if I can find a Ray Allen throwback, that's a dope throwback. But no, yeah, there's no reason for Marshall to stay.
But so that would be that team.
That's your AFC West.
That's the West, the North, obviously us, and then the South. Who's the South?
You just said, Miami's your East.
That's the East, yeah. Who's the South? See, I don't like Tennessee. I don't like. Tennessee looks good though.
Yeah, but you were talking before about the flag. So these are your teams from both the East. From the AFC and the NFC.
Jaguars, but I'm not talking about the Jaguars.
Yeah, leave that alone.
But so yeah, the West would be Oakland, East would be Miami, North Steelers, South would be Jaguars. I ain't talking about that.
No, talk about it. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up about your Jaguars.
I like the Jaguars when we had different people. Mauricio and Drew back in that day when you had David Garrard, you had other people on the team. We have the two Allens. I don't know. Is Mercedes Lewis still on the team?
Yeah, he's the backup. He took less money to stay.
He's been on that team for about 15 years.
I'm just saying. I know he took less money to stay.
Wow.
Because they were going to drop him. They were going to cut him.
All right, but he's ride or die with that team pretty much. And then you got the quarterback situation. The defense always looks decent, but it's just like they can never put up the points. So I feel like defense always just gives up at that point.
Oh no, I understand that. Definitely do.
And they can never get a solid running game. The running back now, I don't know who that is. Denard Robinson's not on the team, and I liked him. He was doing decent. They never gave him a chance.
Oh, I know this looks like way left field, but because it just finished and we do everything here, UEFA League quarterfinals just finished. France just beat the Netherlands 4-0 in a soccer match over there. Our international folks. Hey, it was up there. I feel like people care. Hey, more people care about soccer than we know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And at least if you don't care, at least one of your friends bet on it. If you know that friend that you got a problem that you keep on telling them to stop betting on stuff. You got a friend that just bet on the France-Netherlands game, and you have no clue. They just heard that update. Was like, yeah. Like, what you yapping about? You see, my cousin's French. That's what it is. But yeah, like I said, this is so Jacksonville's your other squad. Okay. Also, be prepared because we're going to do our little mini divisions roundup next week, where we tell y'all who we think is going to win every division. Hopefully, Brick will be back for that. But yeah, we're going to run that down, and like I said, it's going to be an interesting football season. We're about to come back. We're going to hit you up at the college side in a little bit because the college season truly starts this weekend. Even though there was a couple games last weekend, WVU got his first game. Pitt has his first game. I think Penn State has his first game. I do know WVU plays Virginia Tech this week in Landover, Maryland, the FedEx Field of the Washington R words. We got Pitt out here playing against Youngstown State and Heinz Field. And I got to figure out who Penn State's playing again. That one's a blank to me. I'm not a Penn State fan. I watch Pitt and West Virginia more than Penn State. I think Penn State is just it's never me. They're not accessible. Like to me, it feels like it's easier to go to Morgantown than Penn State. I don't know why. So, and I don't really rock with y'all like that. We got that W last year, and that's what like matters because we're gonna lose this year pretty badly.
You never know. No,
if Pitt wins this year, I'd be shocked. Pitt beating Penn State this year would be more impressive than last year.
What if it happens every year now?
They got 3 more years to prove it.
This is the baseball field you're saying. Is that all?
Oh,
baseball?
Yes. Not all, about like I'd say 90%.
Yeah.
We have news that Slippery Rock, home to 90% of Major League Baseball's dirt. From San Diego to Boston, most of the fields in the Major League Baseball's dirt comes from Slippery Rock.
And it's like a special like clay, sand, and silt. There's like some company up there, that's making the special blend for it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right up here, up north.
It's our weird miscellaneous news for the day. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm not a baseball guy. I don't have like a lot of extra shit to say about baseball. Like I'm guessing the Pirates are already out of it because Malachi talks about baseball until the Pirates are out of the playoffs. So yeah, like I said, I'm waiting for this football season to kick off and three-peat. That's what I'm here for. That three-peat.
Okay.
Oh, and basketball season in college. I like hearing about what goes on with Pitt and Duquesne college-wise. They have Robert Morris, but like, yeah. If you just saw the head nod that Malachi gave, that's exactly how I look at Robert Morris. It's like, okay. I hope y'all win. But I really try to follow Pitt and Duquesne because Honestly, God, people don't understand that Duquesne isn't actually a Division I basketball school. They just don't play well. But they are Division I, and if they ever went undefeated, they'd be like Memphis. They're not Memphis conference reigns where like they could be in the tournament. I think Pitt's gonna have a couple rough years until they get rid of the dude with the cul-de-sac. So that's just me. That coach is garbage. Malachi. I mean, me and Malachi knows how I feel about Pitt's basketball coach. Yeah.
He feels about Pitt like I do with Ohio.
I know. I love Pitt. I just think the basketball team is terrible because they got rid of.
Well, I love Akron. I just think the rest of it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. No. His love of Akron is weird to me. That like I love Akron because isn't it like the hood city and yeah. Yeah, I've heard stories about Akron. I don't know. I've driven straight through Ohio. I've been out in Cincinnati once. I've been out there once. So, hey, we about to come back. We about to give y'all a little commercial break. We'll be back with some more live feed footage before we get straight to the radio side. This is GMWorldWideRadio.com, unfiltered with boy Jay and Skyline.
And James.
Here, we'll be right back. We'll be kicking it until 8 o'clock, guys.